In 2012, Nigeria was rocked by a scandal that would shake its National Assembly to its core, and the man at the center of this storm was Farouk Lawan. Farouk Lawan, once hailed as a politician of integrity, found himself entangled in a controversy that would change his career and his life forever. He was tasked with investigating the country's massive fuel subsidy fraud as chairman of the House of Representatives Committee on Oil and Gas. What started as an investigation to expose corruption in the oil industry would soon expose a shocking betrayal by the very man entrusted with uncovering the truth. Lawan's committee set out with the mission of investigating the fuel subsidy scheme, a system meant to subsidize fuel prices for Nigerians, but riddled with fraud. The deeper they dug, the more they uncovered. Billions of naira were disappearing, with companies falsifying documents, inflating their claims, and stealing money that should have gone to the Nigerian people. Femi Otedola, a billionaire businessman and owner of Xenon Petroleum, was one of the companies under scrutiny for fraudulent practices. But instead of cooperating with the investigation, Otedola had a different plan, a plan that would turn everything upside down. Rather than just stay silent or deny the allegations, he allegedly offered Lawan a bribe of $3 million to take Xenon Petroleum off the list of corrupt companies. But Otedola wasn't just handing over cash. He set up a sting operation to catch Lawan red-handed, secretly recording every interaction, every moment. And so, in one of the most dramatic twists of the story, Lawan was filmed accepting the bribe. The footage was leaked to the media, and in an instant, the man who had been celebrated as a crusader against corruption was now exposed as part of the corrupt system he had set out to dismantle. Nigerians were left in shock as their faith in Lawan and in the investigation itself crumbled. Lawan denied the allegations, claiming the money was for the investigation, but the evidence was undeniable. Videos, recording, and witnesses painted a very damning picture. The government wasted no time. Lawan was suspended from his role, and a full investigation was launched. The charges against him were serious: bribery, obstruction of justice, and a betrayal of the trust placed in him by the people. The trial stretched on for years, but eventually the truth could no longer be denied. In 2021, Lawan was convicted and sentenced to 7 years in prison. His fall from grace seemed complete as he was remanded in Kuje Correctional Facility. The Court of Appeal in February 2022 narrowly affirmed Lawan's conviction after exonerating him of 2 out of the 3 counts he was earlier jailed for by the trial court. As a result of the partial acquittal, the Court of Appeal reduced the 7 years of jail time imposed on him by the trial court in February 2021 to 5 years. He completed the sentence and was released in 2024. The Farouk Lawan scandal reminds us that even the most trusted leaders are vulnerable to the temptations of power. It shows that as we try to fight corruption, corruption will fight back as it continues to shape all spheres of Nigeria. Lawan's rise and fall show just how quickly the pursuit of justice can be undermined by greed, betrayal, and personal interest. But the story doesn't end with Lawan. The very scandal he was investigating, the fuel subsidy fraud, remains one of the most significant challenges Nigeria faces. Despite all the investigations, the billions that were meant to benefit Nigerians were still disappearing, and the fuel subsidy system remained in place for years after Lawan's fall from grace. The 2023 announcement that the government had finally ended fuel subsidies may have sounded like a victory, but rumors persist that payments continue behind the scenes. So, what did we really learn from this entire saga? A politician caught on tape accepting a bribe but barely punished. A fraudulent scheme that drained Nigeria's resources, yet the perpetrators remain largely unaccountable. And a promise to end the fuel subsidy program, one that may not even be fully realized. This is why we must remember. This is why we do what we do. As Nigerians, we cannot let these stories fade into the background. Farouk Lawan may have receded from the spotlight, but the fight for justice, the fight against corruption is far from over. And as we continue to ask the hard questions, let's make sure the answers we seek are the ones that truly hold power accountable. We will never forget. Follow, like, and share for more stories.